r/AskReddit. People with street smarts, what is your most street tip? This is a trick my dad taught me when I opened my business. When you give someone a quote in person, write it down on a clipboard first. You don't even need to show any math or reasoning. Just write the number anywhere on a blank piece of paper. When you tell them the price, read it off of the clipboard. Without the clipboard, it seems like you're just throwing out an arbitrary bid off the top of your head so people feel like they can haggle with you. When you reference a number on a sheet of paper, it gives the impression that it's a standardized price. Nobody has questioned my prices since I started doing that. You can get into a lot of places by holding a pizza. If someone starts to loudly state that they've lost their wallet or phone, don't obviously or immediately go to check on yours in your bag or pocket. It's a common pickpocket technique to get people to show the pickpockets where their stuff is. If you're in the hood and you see kids playing outside, you're probably safe. If there are a lot of people outside but no kids, be super cautious and walk with a purpose. If it's empty or only teenagers/young adults, get out ASAP. If you're in the hood and the children scatter, that's your cue to scatter. They might not completely read the situation, but they know when the energy changes. Never commit a misdemeanor while committing a felony. Examples: 1. Don't jaywalk with an illegal GN on you. 2. If there is a body in your trunk or Drew G's under your seat, make sure your inspection and insurance are up to date, all your lights are functioning properly, and your tint isn't illegal. A red traffic light is just a traffic suggestion to some people. Always keep an eye out at intersections for idiots running a red light. Mama always said, there's graveyards full of people who had the right of way. Exercise your legs. Although in a bad situation they'll probably feel like wet noodles, if needed you'll be able to run. It will also show in everyday life that you are capable of moving effortlessly. Most people are sluggish and it's not hard to notice. Fighting is not like the movies. Many people won't fight fair. You never know what a person's got in their pockets, like a knife or any weapon for that matter. Also seen people go back to their car and get a piece. Also, on the other side of the coin, you shouldn't pull out a weapon unless you absolutely know you're gonna do some damage, cause that same weapon can be pulled on you quick. If someone is blatantly violating social norms, such as blasting music on the subway or taking a phone call in a movie theater, keep in mind that if they are willing to violate one social norm, they are probably willing to violate others, including prohibitions on violence. You don't have to be meek in the face of obnoxious people, but you do have to factor in the increased likelihood of violence. I travel quite a lot, so some things I have realized. If you find a gas station, and all the windows are covered by ads, so much they can't see outside, well, that is because they don't want to be a witness. If you stop seeing sidewalks, a lack of street light walking signs, or no more stoplights, that is not where you need to be. Always keep a change of clothes, and some water in your car. Never know when you need it. If something feels wrong, it's probably about to be really wrong. Listen to your gut. Another tip, get to know your local homeless people. If you live in a city and regularly walk past the same homeless people, stop and say hi once in a while. Just have a brief chat and give them some change. Even a smile helps. Believe me, these guys know everything about what happens on that block. If you're ever in trouble, they'll help you out if you've been friendly, or they may just pretend they didn't see a thing. They can also help watch your car. For instance, if someone dings it and drives off, they might even get the plate for you. View the street as their home. When walking on the street, you're walking through their living room. They can be excellent hosts. This doesn't apply if you're traveling in a new city. Not worth befriending a homeless guy if you're only there like 2 days. 100%. Had a lovely man named Boomer that slept outside the 711 on my way home from work. I was a bartender back then and would come home late quite often. Once I had a creep following me, and since Boomer knew me and that I always walk home alone, he noticed and got in between us and started asking him for change, etc., to give me a chance to get some good distance away. He possibly saved my life. Unfortunately, Boomer passed away a few months ago. He was really loved in the community. There's a memorial with flowers and cards on his corner. When someone is staring at you looking for a fight, glance and keep them in your peripheral vision, but otherwise don't maintain a direct eye contact except for a brief moment. This exudes confidence yet acknowledge their threat. Do not keep staring long at them, challenge look, or actually avert eye contact, signing you as vulnerable prey. Stand tall, and if carrying one bag, or even bags, put that bag in your weaker, non-dominant hand, so when you're under sudden attack, you could react faster. Do not burden your dominant hand in groceries/purse/whatever in a high-risk area. It's better to carry 2 bags in your non-dominant hand than having each hand carrying a bag. If you ever get pulled over at night, immediately turn on all your lights inside your car. In my experience, it tends to relieve whatever tension the officer may have, since they can see you a little bit more clearly. Plus, it's better than having a flashlight shined in your face. This one isn't so much protection, but when you're walking and you know how people do that little shuffle thing when they walk towards each other because you don't know which way the people are going. Well, if you maintain a line of sight in a direction, not looking, not the eyes of people coming towards you, people will just move out of your way. No awkward little dance. Solo newsman who worked in the dark in big cities past midnight. I've been shot at by gangs before. I've aimed, followed and chased. I lived the life of a nightcrawler for 2 years, but I wasn't a gypsy camera. I worked for a reputable news station. 1. Even in daylight, watch for places where the streetlights have been broken. Bad people, who like to hide in the dark, shoot out streetlights. If it's night, and you see a television running in an open window, that's a kid that might be a lookout. You'll have the feeling you've been made. 2. When you drive to a place in the dark that you've never been to, drive in with the windows down and the radio off. Turn off the car. Count to 30, and listen. On a good night, without air conditioners buzzing, you can hear everything. Then, get out of the car. 3. Drive in front of a place once before landing there. Get eyes on it. 4. If you're on foot, know the outs. Watch behind houses for fences. Assume anyone that chases you knows the area better than you. If you feel like you're being watched, you are. Stop moving, stop breathing, and listen again. Nobody wants to attack an aware victim. If you hold your breath on foot, in about 45 seconds, you can hear everything. Your ears adjust. Cannot do it while walking and blood is pumping in your ears. You can hear people breathing well over 10 feet away if you wait long enough. 5. Assume all gut feelings are real and actionable. Trust yourself. 6. I cannot stress enough listening. Most humans have no idea that we have, as a species, the ability to hear things further away than we think we do. We have busy minds. And listening takes about a minute. Your brain can totally make a determination that there is a deer 100 yards away in the dark, because in about 30 seconds of dead silence the brain starts shutting down useless background noises. The only lesson of this is, it takes a little longer than you think. Second tier pro tip, it also works on your nose in the woods, but it takes a few days out of an urban environment. 7. Cars, all headlights on vehicles are fingerprints. Every time you look in a rear view mirror, imprint the headlights in your short-term memory. Try to think of what kind of car it is. Learn what headlights and taillights go with what type of car. Make it a game. Keep it as a background thought. It will trigger you when the third turn happens and the headlights are the same. 8. Cars again, if you see the car too long and it's bothering you, do something. Spin that block. Drive illogically. If you spin that block, it will have to follow you in an illogical path. It takes a minute to do this and determine a tail. Don't ever stop, just drive a longer and more illogical route to determine if you're being followed. If you're being followed, don't go home. Drive to a hospital ER entrance. There's always security there. They're used to crazy. And immediate medical attention if something is bad. And cameras. Lots of them. And all cops can get there without looking it up. 9. Don't like GNS? Get a big-ass knife. They never jam. They never need maintenance. Nearly impossible to disarm. A cut is an instant win. The crazier you get, the better they work. They scare the hell out of people. A person shorter than 10 feet away can get a KLL faster than a pistol. They teach cops to shoot knife attackers at 10 feet, still probably screwed. Got a Captain America shield? Wearing knight's armor? Can't stop it. Turns a 70-pound girl into a 70-pound Wolverine. A 90-year-old lady with a knife has about equal chance against a Krav Maga fighter unarmed. Knives are, in my experience, much deadlier than GNS. I've seen hundreds of G-shot wounds and deaths. I've seen brutal knife attacks. All heavy stabs are 100% fatal. I've never seen a multiple stab person make it out of an ambulance. 20 years experience. 9. And finally, final reiteration that your smooth little reptilian hindbrain has evolved running from creatures on this planet with big-ass fangs and camouflage, and venom, and claws. Lots of claws. You, as a person, are a little animal. And what your personality and identity is an evolutionary add-on that is pretty damn amazing. The cauliflower part of your brain is in charge, but you have old brain down there underneath it. When the little smooth part of your brain says, run. Do it, now. You're here because the hindbrain did its damn job for millions of years. It's not capable of expressing itself in letters or numbers. It's stupid. It's the heebie-jeebies part of your brain. It's very old. It misfires a lot. It will also give you fair warning. Stay safe, people. The most practical self-defense item you can own is a very high-powered flashlight, especially one with a strobe function. Drawing a weapon will always escalate a situation, and may cause any aggressor to fight with lethal force. You also cannot use a weapon preemptively except in very clear self-defense scenarios. You can't shoot someone just because they look shifty. You also cannot legally carry them in many places. None of this applies to a flashlight. You can legally and inconspicuously carry it anywhere. You can use it without provocation, without legal or moral issue. It is also highly effective. It is incredibly difficult to hit or stab someone who is shining a 1000 lumen strobe light in your face. It can be almost impossible to properly see where that person is, and it will be painful to even look at them. As a bonus, flashlights are just super handy tools to have in day-to-day life. Men don't ask women for help with moving or fixing things, they ask other men. If a man asks a woman for help moving something, he's probably a creep and you should get out of there as quickly as possible. You have best friends you trust and share your secrets with, and your best friends also have best friends who they trust and share your secrets with. And finally, and probably most importantly, don't eat yellow snow. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, show your support. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below.